Hi guys, and welcome to this simple and quick book review about Kristin Hannah's The Four Winds. And I love Kristin Hannah. I have a shelf like right up here. I don't know if you can see it. I doubt you can see it. But that has all my favorites on it by her. And I fell in love, I think, with her when I read The Great Alone by Kristin Hannah. It was so good and I absolutely loved it. I read The Nightingale, I read The Homefront. And I've read one other, and I'm reading right now Firefly Lane, so I can watch it on Netflix. But that's how I got interested in Kristin Hannah, is because she was really, really popular and big. But this is her newest book that was just released about a week ago now, and it is gorgeous. It has these like grains of wheat, and then there's like gold dust all over the place. Anyways, this tells a story about a girl, and it starts kind of in the roaring 20s, in the early 20s in Texas, and it's about a girl who has this very closed off life. I don't want to give too much away. This is going to be spoiler free, but it does start there. It says in the thing, it says it starts in 1934 on a lot of things, but it does start in the early 20s, and it's about this girl kind of breaking out of the mold she was shoved into, and so I found her a little bit more fearless in the beginning. But then most of the story is set in 1934 during the Texas Dust Bowl. And this book is the imagery is so strong in this book. You will really be thinking about dust a huge portion of this book. Like, you can like just feel it in like how they swallowed it in their lungs and in their nose and just in their eyes when they woke up, and how it's just kind of in every crevice of everywhere. And the imagery in here is very, very good. As far as the Dust Bowl and you feeling like you're actually there. But it tells a story about her and a family and how they get through this. And there's very hard times in the Dust Bowl. So most of the book, unlike her other books, most of this book is very, very gripping. It was the fastest read I've ever read by her. But at the same time, it's like white knuckling it through. There was nothing kind of reprieve for a huge portion of this book. It made me feel like I was like, why do I feel so depressed? And it is this book. This book will give you kind of stronger emotions, but kind of underlying, because you're kind of just white knuckling it through. And so much stuff happens and happens and happens, and it's so sad. And she usually writes like really strong female characters, and this female character is strong in a way, but she's the meekest character I've ever read by her. She's very, very meek and almost scared about life. And as well, it's definitely a survival story. So if you liked her other books where she wrote about survival stories, this is another kind of survival story book as well. So yeah, it's a great story about Elsa, and it does involve family. It is kind of, if you've read Kristin Hannah books before, there is a lot of time passage in this book. I'm hoping I'm not giving too much away, but it is definitely about the Texas Dust Bowl. The imagery is very, very strong. It reads really, really quickly for a Kristin Hannah book. That's something I did really enjoy. But on the other hand, I didn't like that it didn't have the natural Kristin Hannah reprieve, like where she usually has these awesome set of side characters that you're really interested in, and they're great and they come off the page. This one really wasn't. This one was really more about Elsa versus the other people in her life. There is a little part that flips back and forth between her and her daughter as well, and I could tell the difference in their voices. The only thing was her daughter didn't appear, even though these are tough times, her daughter didn't appear that youthful to me. Some writers, I think, get teenagers dead on, and she made stupid mistakes maybe like a teenager, but it didn't feel like I was reading a teenager thing in the end. So I missed out on those extra characters, and so that, I think I didn't love this book as much because of that, and because I didn't really believe the teenager. And then at the end, the whole ending of the book and the big hurrah and stuff, a lot of times I don't guess Kristin Hannah's endings. Maybe some people do, but this one I saw it coming from like a mile away. So I was a little let down by that, just because it was predictable. And when I'm going to read something kind of that good and this gripping, I wanted a little something more at the end. But this book was definitely predictable. As well, this is kind of a tough read to read during like a worldwide pandemic, because yeah, it is like, once you get into it, it is just like the whole way through, it's like There are a lot of bad stuff does happen to her throughout the Texas Best Bowl, and there's a lot of hardships that people go through. During that time, they like lost their businesses and lost family and huge health problems and just the desperate needs these people needed. But it was really good. I still gave it a 4.5 stars overall. That is how I felt about it, and I'm sure tons of people are going to read it, but I loved it overall, but I just wasn't completely and madly in love with it like normally I am with Kristin Hannah books. But it was still a really good read. It was the quickest Kristin Hannah I've ever read, and I really liked it in the end still. So that is my simple and quick book review about Kristin Hannah's The Four Winds, and let me know what you think of it when you guys check it out. And I will see you in the next one. See you guys next time. Bye!